Have you ever felt invisible in your own home? Like you could disappear and nobody would even notice? That's exactly how I felt the day everything changed. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how one rainy weekend turned my whole life upside down. Picture this. It's a Saturday afternoon. Rain is falling hard against the windows. The house is so quiet you can hear every drop hitting the glass. My two kids are staying with their grandma for the weekend. My husband, David, left early that morning for another work trip. He didn't even kiss me goodbye. Just grabbed his bag and said, "See you Monday," before rushing out the door. I stood by the window watching his car drive away. A strange thought popped into my head. When did we stop caring about each other? David and I used to be so close. We used to laugh together, hold hands, stay up late talking about our dreams. But somewhere along the way, we stopped doing all those things. Now, he was always busy with work, always on his phone, always somewhere else, even when he was sitting right next to me. I felt like a ghost in my own home, like I was there, but nobody really saw me anymore. That afternoon, my phone buzzed. It was a group message from 3 of David's best friends. Mike, Jason, and Ryan. They said they were in the neighborhood and wanted to stop by. I stared at my phone for a minute. Should I say yes? Should I tell them I'm busy? But the truth was, I wasn't busy. I was just alone. And maybe, just maybe, having some company would help me feel a little less invisible. So I typed back, "Sure, come over." 20 minutes later, they knocked on my door. Mike arrived first, carrying a pizza box. Then Jason showed up with some drinks. Ryan was last, holding a small bunch of flowers. "These are for you," Ryan said with a warm smile. "Just wanted to say thanks for having us over." My heart did a little flip. When was the last time someone brought me flowers? When was the last time David noticed me like that? We all sat down in the living room. I turned on some music. We started talking and laughing. They asked me questions about my life, my hobbies, the things I like to do. They actually listened to my answers. Mike told funny stories that made me laugh so hard my stomach hurt. Jason helped me clean up the kitchen without me even asking. And Ryan? He looked at me like I was the most interesting person in the room. For the first time in forever, I didn't feel invisible. I felt alive. "You seem different today," Mike said. "More relaxed or something?" "Really?" I asked. "Yeah," Jason added. "You should smile more often. It looks good on you." I felt my cheeks turn red. I couldn't remember the last time someone gave me a compliment like that. They left around midnight. After they were gone, I sat on the couch feeling confused. Part of me felt happy. These men made me feel special. They made me feel like I mattered. But another part of me felt guilty. They were David's friends. Why did their attention make me so happy? The next evening, they texted me again. "Can we come over? We'll bring food." I should have said no. I should have told them I was tired. But instead, I said yes. This time, we watched a movie together. Well, the movie was playing, but nobody was really watching it. We were too busy talking and joking around. I sat between Mike and Jason on the couch. Ryan sat on the floor right in front of me, close enough that I could feel the warmth from his back. The room felt different. The air felt thick. Every time someone's hand accidentally touched mine, I felt electricity run through my body. "David's a lucky guy," Mike said suddenly. Everyone got quiet. "Yeah," Jason agreed. "He doesn't know how lucky he is." I didn't know what to say, so I just smiled and looked down at my hands. When things started changing after that night, they started coming over more often. Sometimes all 3 of them. Sometimes just 1 or 2. Mike would bring me my favorite coffee. Jason would fix things around the house that David never had time to fix. Ryan would just sit and talk with me for hours. Each of them made me feel different things. Mike made me laugh. Jason made me feel taken care of. Ryan made me feel beautiful and interesting. I knew it was dangerous. I knew I was playing with fire. But I couldn't stop. I had been so lonely for so long. Their attention was like water after being thirsty for years. One Friday night, I was home alone again. David had sent me a text. Busy weekend. Won't be home until Monday. Around 8 o'clock, there was a knock on my door. I opened it expecting maybe one of them. All three were standing there. We thought you might be lonely, Ryan said softly. I should have closed the door. I should have said it was late and I was tired. But I didn't. I stepped aside and let them in. We sat in the living room. The lights were low. Music was playing softly. We talked and laughed like we always did. Then Mike suggested we play a game. Truth or dare. Just for fun. Aren't we too old for that? I laughed. Come on, Jason said. It'll be fun. At first, the dares were silly. Mike had to sing a funny song. Jason had to dance. We were all laughing. Then it was my turn. Truth or dare? Ryan asked. Truth, I whispered. What's something you've never told David? He asked quietly. The room went silent. Everyone was looking at me. I took a deep breath. Sometimes I feel like I don't exist when he's around. Like I'm invisible. Mike gently touched my hand. We see you, he said. Ryan moved closer. If you could change anything about tonight, would you? My heart was beating so fast. The room felt hot. I couldn't breathe. And then, things happened that I'm not proud of. Things I can't take back. Things that changed everything. I woke up the next morning feeling like a different person. The house looked the same, but everything felt different. Wrong. Confusing. They left early, one by one. Nobody said much. There were no jokes this time. No laughter. Just awkward silence and quick goodbyes. I spent the whole day cleaning the house. Washing everything. Trying to erase what had happened. But you can't wash away memories. You can't clean guilt off your skin. 2 days later, David came home from his trip. I heard his car in the driveway. Watched him walk to the door. My stomach felt sick. He came inside and kissed the top of my head like always. How was your weekend? Fine. I lied. Quiet. He looked at me for a second longer than usual. Like he knew something was different. Like he could see something had changed. But he didn't ask. And I didn't tell. The next few weeks were torture. Every time David touched me, I felt like I was lying. Every time he smiled at me, I wanted to cry. Every time his friends' names came up, my heart would race. Mike, Jason, and Ryan still came around sometimes. But it was different now. We barely talked. We avoided looking at each other. The secret hung in the air between us like a heavy cloud. One day, David invited them over for dinner. I had to cook and serve food to them while pretending everything was normal. My hands shook while I poured drinks. My voice cracked when I tried to make conversation. Ryan caught my eye across the table. There was something in his look. A question. A memory. A possibility. I looked away quickly. I think about that night all the time. Was it revenge? Was I trying to hurt David because he hurt me by ignoring me? I don't think so. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I was just trying to feel something. Anything. I was drowning in loneliness, and when someone threw me a rope, I grabbed it without thinking. But that doesn't make it right. I know that. I betrayed David. I broke promises. I became someone I never thought I'd be. The hardest part? Part of me doesn't regret it. Part of me is glad that for one night, I felt alive again. Felt wanted. Felt seen. And that makes me feel even worse. I keep asking myself this question. Does one mistake make you a bad person? Does being lonely excuse what I did? I don't have answers. All I know is that I was empty for so long. I was screaming inside, but nobody heard me. Not even David, the person who promised to always listen. When his friends paid attention to me, it felt like finally someone turned on a light in a dark room. Was it wrong? Yes, but in that moment, it felt like the only thing that could save me from disappearing completely. David still doesn't know what happened. At least, I don't think he does. We go through our days like normal. We talk about bills and groceries and the kids' homework. We sleep in the same bed, but there's a wall between us now. A wall I built with my secrets. A wall he helped build by forgetting about me. Sometimes I wonder if he can feel it. If he lies awake at night, wondering why things feel different. Why I seem distant. Why I flinch sometimes when he touches me. The three of them don't come around as much anymore. When they do, we all pretend. We smile. We make small talk. We act like nothing ever happened. But we all know the truth. That night exists between all of us, whether we talk about it or not. What I've learned, loneliness is dangerous. It makes you do things you never thought you'd do. It makes you vulnerable. It makes you hungry for any kind of attention, even the wrong kind. I was so starved for love and attention that I didn't care where it came from anymore. I just wanted someone to see me. To really see me. And they did. For one night, I wasn't invisible anymore. But the price was high. Higher than I expected. Because now I have to live with what I did. I have to look at myself in the mirror and see someone I don't recognize. Someone who broke promises. Someone who hurt people without meaning to. Here's what I want you to understand. I'm not making excuses. What I did was wrong. But I'm also human. I made a mistake because I was hurting. Because I felt forgotten. Because I was desperate to feel like I mattered to someone. Have you ever been so lonely that even bad attention felt better than no attention at all? Have you ever felt so invisible that you'd do almost anything just to be seen? I hope you haven't. I hope you never feel that empty, that desperate, that lost. But if you have, then maybe you understand a little bit of why I did what I did. If there's anything I want you to take away from my story, it's this. Don't ignore the people you love. Don't let them become invisible. Don't wait until it's too late to show them they matter. David didn't mean to push me away. He was busy. He was stressed. He had a lot on his mind. But slowly, day by day, he stopped seeing me. And when you stop being seen by the person who matters most, you start looking for anyone who will notice you. That's how it happens. Not all at once. Not with a big decision. But slowly, quietly, one lonely day at a time. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if David and I can fix what's broken. I don't know if I can forgive myself for what I did. All I know is that I'm tired of feeling invisible. Tired of pretending everything is okay when it's not. Tired of carrying secrets that weigh me down like stones in my pockets. Maybe one day I'll tell David the truth. Maybe one day I'll find the courage to be honest. Maybe one day we'll either fix our marriage or admit it's broken beyond repair. But for now, I'm stuck in this in-between place. Not quite here. Not quite there. Just existing. Some people might read this story and think I'm terrible. Some might understand. Some might judge me harshly. And that's okay. I judge myself pretty harshly too. But I wanted to share my story, because I think there are others out there who feel the way I felt. Who are lonely in their marriages. Who feel invisible in their own homes. Who are one bad decision away from doing something they'll regret. If that's you, please talk to someone. Please tell your partner how you feel before it's too late. Please don't wait until you're so empty that you'll take crumbs from anyone who offers them. Because once you cross that line, you can't uncross it. Once you open that door, you can't close it again. The consequences live with you forever. I learned that the hard way. And I'm still learning to live with what I did. The truth is, loneliness doesn't always look like what you think it does. Sometimes it looks like a woman in a nice house with a good husband and beautiful kids. Sometimes it looks normal from the outside while everything is falling apart on the inside. And sometimes, the most dangerous thing isn't the temptation itself. It's the emptiness that makes you vulnerable to it in the first place. I opened my door that rainy Saturday, and I'm still trying to find my way back to who I was before I did. What do you think? Was I wrong? Was I human? Was I both? Sometimes the hardest stories to tell are the ones where nobody is completely right or completely wrong, where everyone is just trying to survive their own pain. Thank you for reading my story. I hope it makes you think. I hope it makes you appreciate the people you love. And I hope you never feel as lonely as I did that night.